G'day and welcome to the Sunday Show. Today we're diving into a wild mix of politics, price moves and big milestones in crypto, from Trump's controversial dinner to the first ever XRP ETF, plus what Switzerland just said about Bitcoin. Let's go around the crypto domain. We'll start here with the first article. Swiss National Bank rejects Bitcoin reserve proposal. The Swiss National Bank has rejected proposals to include Bitcoin in its reserves, pointing to stability and liquidity issues. Crypto advocates continue pushing for constitutional changes to recognise Bitcoin alongside gold. Bitcoin is unlikely to become a reserve asset in Switzerland anytime soon. Cryptocurrencies do not currently meet the requirements of foreign exchange reserves. This is not the first time Siegel has spoken out against the radical adoption of crypto. In March, he said he did not want to make Bitcoin a Swiss reserve asset, citing lack of stability, liquidity issues, and security risks. The Swiss Federal Chancellery has initiated a proposal to constitutionally enshrine the national bank's obligation to hold Bitcoin at the end of 2024. The proposal to change the third paragraph of Article 99 of the Constitution, it currently reads as follows: the Swiss National Bank shall create sufficient currency reserves from its revenues. Part of these reserves shall be held in gold. If successful, the phrase "and in Bitcoin" will be added to the text. 2B4CH participated in the development of the initiative. 2B4CH is backed by some big names in the industry. In particular, we're talking about Jeff Zangana, Vice President of Tether, which is the issuer of the largest stablecoin USD. So that's really interesting, right? Because more discussion in constitutional context gives it new credibility. If it passes, it could influence other central banks to start looking at bringing it on as a currency reserve as well. You could argue that through this, Bitcoin could actually reduce the reliance on the US dollar and euro. 2B4CH founder and chairman Yves Benaim commented, "We are not saying go all in with Bitcoin, but if you have nearly 1 trillion francs in reserves like the SMB does, then it makes sense to have 1 to 2% of that in an asset that is increasing in value, becoming more secure, and that everyone wants to own." And this goes back to what a lot of people are saying, right? Why not have 1 to 2% of your net worth in Bitcoin? Doesn't seem like such a silly move now, does it? With more adoption, regulations coming into play, the US becoming so much more crypto friendly. Just seems like a smart move. And although they're not yet ready to add Bitcoin to their reserves, the very fact that this idea is being discussed at the state level shows that the crypto industry is maturing. Let's get into the second article for the day. XRP price prediction as world's first spot ETF goes live. So we can see Brazil introduced the world's first spot XRP product, XRPH11, which began trading on April 25 on B3, the country's main stock exchange. The launch of XRPH11 is expected to impact XRP's price trajectory in 2025 generally. Historically, spot ETFs have provided strong long-term support for cryptocurrencies by expanding access to institutional investors. The sheer fact that it's opening the door to institutional investors really increases the legitimacy, again, of Bitcoin, the same as reserve currency status does. This just increases that legitimacy. And again, other countries may follow. It could inspire regulators in other markets. Ripple's narrative just continues to gain strength. Okay, let's scroll down here. ChatGPT projects that XRP could reach 350 to 450 by the end of 2025 under normal bullish conditions. In a strong scenario, with more countries launching XRP ETFs and rising global crypto demand, the asset could hit $6 to $8. If macro conditions worsen or new regulatory hurdles arise, the price could fall back to a range between 1.5 and 2. ChatGPT views $4 as a realistic target, nearly 80% above current levels. Let's just be clear that any projections, whether they're AI or otherwise, are still just guesses. So don't put your house on this. Don't wait for these dollars before you sell. Make sure you look at indicators as well. Do whatever you want to do. This is not financial advice, but a combination of things is probably going to be your best scenario, and indicators are really going to be a telling factor. So many people got burnt in the last market by waiting for price points. Gronk AI, so now Gronk's having a go at it, offered a similar outlook with more detailed probabilities. In its bullish scenario, XRP could reach $8, driven by strong inflows into XRP H11, US ETF approvals, Ripple's expanding partnerships, and Bitcoin surpassing $120,000. Which, look, I'm still definitely in the camp that it will go past that. I'm still around the 150. I was 120 to 150, and I'm sticking with that at the moment. Grok's base case sees XRP at $4.50, assuming moderate success in Brazil. US ETF approvals by late 2025, and Bitcoin reaching 100,000. In its bearish scenario, XRP could dip to $2. And the third and final article for today is the impeachment suggested as Trump attends Trump coin holder dinner. So I mentioned this yesterday that I'd heard something about this. Former US President Donald Trump, last time I checked, he's current US President Donald Trump, faced allegations from Senator John Ossoff of potentially impeachable actions. Ossoff claims Trump held a dinner for top Trump coin holders, which we all know. Ossoff pointed to a private dinner involving top Trump coin holders, suggesting it as grounds for impeachment. Ossoff believes impeachment prospects are minor without Democratic control in the next election cycle. In this Trump event, the top 25 Trump holders will be invited to an exclusive pre-dinner reception with Trump. In addition, the Trump team also arranged a special VIP White House tour for those whale holders the next day. It is reported that the event is organised by Fight LLC. President Trump will attend the dinner as a guest and will not raise any funds for this event. Blockbeat News, April 24, 2025. This is really opening the door now, right, for increased political scrutiny of crypto involvement. You just look at the Libra token as well with Melee. Meme political tokens are risky. Meme tokens in general are risky anyway, but meme political tokens, are risky as. It really does set new precedents in political fundraisers, though, and token utility, right? If these tokens are used for VIP access to political figures or events, it could lead to legal challenges or set new precedents. It can impact on campaign financing, lobbying, and influence. And I'm not so sure that's a good idea at all. I think politicians, I don't think they should be able to trade and do the insider trading they do with stocks. There is no difference to crypto. They should not be able to do that either. Don't care who you are. I just think it opens up for so much corruption. And the people that get burned at the end of the day are going to be the retail investors. Okay, let's move into the crypto indicators. So we can see that the dominance has remained pretty flat. And although there's a bit of red on this chart today, I can see that most of these are only small moves. Look, the total market cap has come down a bit. Volumes dropped as it did last weekend. We see the top 5 tokens, excluding stables. We can see that they're all red, but we know that there's a bit of red floating around in the market today. The Coinbase app has also dropped down. It was about 324 yesterday. It's down to 351. We can see across the board the indicators with the pi cycle top and the historic risk. They're all red or flat, with 3 of them being flat, and the historic risk and MVRV Z score dropping slightly. And we can also see the fear and greed has dropped. It's dropped from 65 to 61. So again, we're not talking sheep stations here, but it has dropped a little bit since yesterday. And look, we're still well up on last week where we're at 37. And we're up on last month where we're at 44. Okay, we'll take a quick look at the top 100 tokens. So Bitcoin's sitting at 94. So again, not much. It's pretty flat. It's down 0.6 from yesterday. You got Ethereum at flat to yesterday. There's a lot of red on the 24 hour. Still plenty of green on the 7-day, obviously. You know, SHIB's down 6%. Hedera's down 4%. There's no big green moves to the upside that I'd see. Ondo's down 7.2. That's the RWA play. It's still one of the strongest RWA plays, I feel. Batenza Tau, we've got a video coming out on that in the next couple of days. That's at 0.1. It's a flat, really. What else we got moving here? Algo's down 5.5. You got Filecoin down 5.8. So there's no, look, predominantly red, down a little bit across the top 100. Okay, let's have a look at the crypto bubbles. So we can see the top 100, a sea of red. You got Gala there, Gala Games, that's down 6%. You can see you got Nexo, which is a lending platform, that's in green. FET's in green, 3.1. BTT, so BitTorrent, which is data and file sharing, that's in green, 7.9. And actually, from the top 100 on the bubbles, that's actually the biggest upside token. CAS has fallen back 6.3, and I think it's given up that 10 cents. It's just under the 10 cents, I believe, at the moment. Ondo's down 6.6, as we've already mentioned. Let's have a look at the 100 to 200. So you can see Turbo's doing really well. That's up 21%. AIZ continues its upward trend, as does Pengu. Just is up 31.5%. So that's decentralized finance. It's built on the Tron network, which assume like Just and Sun, Just. FXS, so that's Frax Share. That's a governance and utility token for that protocol. But again, it's predominantly just red across the market. It's sort of in the 1 to 5% range. And the 1 to 300, we've got Wrapped ETH here. So that's ETH proof of work. I think that one is. So that was a fork of Ethereum. But again, a big time down, honey down. So again, we're just seeing a sea of red. Look, we'll leave it there today. If you like today's video, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Everything we talk about is time sensitive. Don't forget to take a look at the Block to Basics series. So that's our beginner series into crypto. We go through a few tokens in there. We're adding tokens every day. We're going through a few of the must-knows like terminology, what is Bitcoin, general overview of what the cryptocurrency is, and those sorts of things. Make sure top 10 scams is also in there. But jump in, have a look at that, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.